Would you like to gain confidence, master stress management, make a lifestyle change, live a more abundant life, and experience freedom, joy, and wholeness like never before? In this podcast, I am going to share with you practical tools which can empower you to achieve all of this and more. My name is Jessica Santiago, and I am a certified health and life coach specializing in mental fitness. I am dedicated to empowering my clients to lead balanced and authentic lives while turning their dreams into realities. If you would like personalized support or just have questions, feel free to visit my website, jessicasantia.com. That's JESSICASANTIA.com. Now let's dive in. Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of A Path to Mental Fitness. Today I will be talking about prayer as a practice and how it can help you throughout your journey. I will not be talking about prayer that is tied to any religious denomination. If the word prayer makes you uncomfortable, please give me a chance to explain. And remember that you have the choice to take it or leave it, but it's important to try new things in order to find out what works for you. Everyone's path is personal and unique. So now that I have gone over the process of transition from thinking to feeling to being, and how to use breath work, meditation, gratitude, and visualization as helpful tools and techniques to transform your life, it's time to acknowledge the fact that this process will not always be easy. There will be days filled with excitement, and there will be days when you may experience frustration. When we are feeling uncomfortable, we must simply notice our feelings and surrender to the process. If this was easy, everyone would be doing it. I personally became frustrated when I was doing the work every day to change my thought loop, but continued to wake up day after day, still thinking the same thoughts, which were producing the same feelings, keeping me stuck in the past. Even though this was only a few days, it felt like forever. It felt like I may never live my life outside of this loop. It felt like I was doing everything I could possibly do to set myself free, but it just wasn't working. In reality, it was working, and it hadn't even been that much time since I had started this process. I knew it was working. I know it was working because I was aware that I was stuck in the same thought loops. Awareness is the first step. Also, I was doing all the daily practices and working through my thoughts throughout the day, but now it was time to surrender. It was time to let go. It wasn't about trying harder. So instead of trying harder and putting more pressure on ourselves and the process, or much worse, giving up, prayer can empower you to trust your challenges to a higher power, allowing for the perfect resolution that aligns with your best interest. I call this higher power my creator. Some call it source energy. Some call it their higher self. No matter what you call it, it lives within you, knows you perfectly, and loves you so much. This power is both deeply personal and universally relevant. Opening up a two-way communication with it will set you free from what's holding you back. This way you can let go in mind and body without the need to struggle and force. This is where we trade force for surrender, frustration for peace. This infinite mind eagerly awaits your sincere request, at which point it will provide aid and guidance. But this type of support is not forced upon us. We have to ask and then allow. So we surrender our limitation to this all-knowing intelligence and ask it to resolve it in a way that is perfect for us individually. Then we completely let it go, allowing it to be taken from us. So that would sound something like this. Mind you, you can't get this wrong. Infinite mind, creator, source energy, higher self, the creative energy of all that is, whatever you choose to name it. I give you this emotion, this trauma, this limitation, and I ask that you take it from me and turn it into wisdom and strength. Then simply lay back and feel it being taken from you. Prayer is directed thought, connecting us to a higher power for assistance. Prayer brings peace and calm through the chaos in our minds. Prayer works if we have faith that it will. This is where our faith comes in. We need to believe in the process. We need faith for any of the practices we use on our path to mental fitness. Faith is having the confidence and trust. Faith is believing regardless of the current conditions in our present reality. We must let go of the why and when to find our way to trust and surrender. So when I was struggling and feeling like it's just taking too long and doing everything I can and it's just not happening, that was me putting a time limit on my journey. We know that our thoughts create our reality, so belief is very important. If we pray but don't believe we will receive the healing and restoration, then our minds and hearts are not in sync. Remember, the process of transition is from thinking to feeling to being, which means our minds and hearts can't be opposing each other if we want to experience a transformation in our lives. When we can relinquish control and believe our prayer is being answered, we are no longer wasting our energy by trying to force an outcome. We can now begin to live like our prayers have already been answered. When we get up from a prayer as if our desired outcome has already happened, we are in the right state of mind and body. In other words, we are in a new state of being. You will need courage and belief to step out into the unknown. It's wonderful to have open communication with an all-knowing higher power. Remember, you can't expect other people to see the vision you have for yourself and your future. They may dismiss you. This is a natural part of growth. Embrace it as a sign that you're now growing into the new you. When you encounter setbacks, don't see this as failure. It is all a part of the process. This journey will make it possible for you to obtain all that your heart desires, but it's more about becoming the person you want to be. Our desires lead us to our passion, which leads us to our purpose. And the things we desire are effortlessly added to our lives as we become our true selves, no longer being held back by our limiting beliefs or memories of the past. Remember that you are not alone. Prayer is always available to you. If you would like me to pray with you, just give me a call. And blessings on your path to mental fitness.